kicked my butt in the opening race. I want to see either the craziest seed possible, which is genuinely doable for you, or a super fast seed so I can see what these guys' routing choices look like, because I'm very interested.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. So this is gonna be a lot of fun, I think. So we got this is gonna be an intense packed day because this is the game one of a double header. So this is our round one match, and then the match that follows it is gonna be actually me versus Ben Redrock. So this is gonna be pretty intense, if I have to say.
And Snowbear, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of looking forward to your race, because I've seen you play these before, but I've never actually seen Ben play, so I'm very interested in his play style.
Well, this is gonna be definitely interesting. So we have a Tauros, a Vileplume,
And a
and
Graveler.
a Gra- So there's going with the Bull. It's a good
Yeah,
choice. You can't go
that,
wrong with it.
unless it's a completely special moveset or it's full
I've run
non-damaging.
special Tauros before. It's not great, but I've run it.
I mean, it's doable. I ran a physical Jolteon in one of my practice ROMs last night.
Oh yeah, anything's possible with these. Basically the Pokemon matter more than the moveset initially because you are gonna get Strength, Surf, Wow, and that is actually pretty good. Fury Attack Sludge is doable. It's not great, but it's doable.
I mean, you can definitely force it, but
But
you
it's not
might
our
be
number one
considering a new
choice.
main. Yeah, if I picked that up, I'd probably run it unless I found a really good encounter on 29 or 30.
So you have a good dog on Route
Ooh.
29, although I don't. And did Storms get 0 encounters on Route 29?
Yeah,
Wow.
Snorm's winning counterless. He's got those hacks on tonight, boys.
So he only gets 4 Pokeballs. Interesting. Or
That's a choice.
2 Pokeball. Or there was only 2 or something. It's
It was 3 Pokeballs, 2 potions, 3 repels, a antidote,
antidote.
and a paralyzed heal, I
So
think.
he might be actually just planning on forcing the starter, which is actually an interesting choice because a lot of people will try to see what wilds there are before trying to find the starter, and using the
hmm
starter. But sometimes just running the starter is actually just a good idea.
I mean, if you get a good starter, it's definitely worth the time sink because you're going to get a lot of free stat XP on it.
Well, that and I mean, it's like with especially with like bingos and that kind of stuff, um, it it saves a lot of time but yeah, you're absolutely gonna get a lot of experience.
hmm
Of
Oh,
course, that
Paradox
doesn't
going with
mean
the 10 Pokeballs.
oh,
That's
that's
a choice.
so everyone has different buys. I started to do the buy, which is 5 Pokeballs, 2 potions, and 4 repels.
Yeah,
Um,
that's my standard go-to.
but a lot of people kind of buy more or less, and that's a Zip Zap cat with Spark, or
Stab
AKA known
Sparker.
as Dio. I. Oh
That you
my
know what?
goodness! And bite.
That's
Okay, so
main
that's
consideration.
uh, no, that's a definite. That's a definite. I'm switching to that. You can't throw the done button, Paradox.
Why not? I mean, come on. Throwing the done button is like the OP 200 IQ strat.
But yeah, Reiko is one of the best legendaries that have, and the fact that it has a stab spark and bite, so that you're not too walled on anything is amazing.
Oh yeah. Now here's my question. Do we think Snorms is gonna go for early Squirt Bottle just to check the pseudo and get that free key item check in Ekritique before doing Sprout?
It's very possible
Because
because
it is a fast check.
it it absolutely. Or if you want to do the absolute meme strats, sometimes if you can get a main in Mount Mortar.
You can. I
I mean,
I've
I wouldn't
considered it.
necessarily recommend it, but you could absolutely do it. But yeah, you have actually a greater chance of getting the bike going through the back half of that because you'll have 3 items you can check there immediately in Goldenrod, and you might even
Yeah.
get the Super Rod in Ekritique.
The only thing it's going to cost you early game, if Bike is in, say, Farfetch'd, is a little bit of time from doing those checks, but that's also 3 checks you have up on your opponent if they didn't go do it. So it's an interesting routing choice, and I'm curious to see if either one of them goes for it.
And hopefully, I think we've got our raider soon. We'll have people from the other race coming in soon if they aren't here. Hello, everyone.
Welcome to the party.
Oh.
I think they're still doing commentary on the other one. I could be wrong, because I know I saw Athena in the Discord with T-Pat and Pyan.
Yeah, so they're gonna do that. I think. So I just have to figure out stuff. You'll have to apologize.
Oh, it went down wise though? Okay.
Yeah, so you guys should be falling over. So they're gonna do it.
So Paradox looks like he's getting pretty unlucky with some encounters right now. I think he went 3 tiles and then got another one.
Alright, so we're gonna get our foes from Randomizer 2. Thank you very much. Sorry about that. So we started off with Taros in this early squirt bottle. So we've got already quite a quick decision right here. And so Paradox found the Ray Cow on Route 30 here with Stab, Spark, and Bite. So this is...
Unfortunately for Paradox, that is the only 2 moves it has. One of its other moves is, I think, Kinesis, and then its 4th move is Sleep Talk.
But hopefully everyone is joining us in here. So this is interesting that Snorms actually opts to do the Sprout Tower first.
I mean, it is a fairly quick check. There's only 3 required fights, which isn't terrible. And with that Tauros, he's got pretty good coverage across the board. So nothing's gonna, like, wall him. He might get slowed down here or there, but it's nothing that's potentially gonna get in his way.
Yeah, and he's probably gonna be able to make it through there. But definitely it's a gamble, because even though the squirt bottle is a level 20, you're taking something, you're trying to take a chance on something that may not even be runnable. And it can cost you a lot of time. Even though it could pay off well, it also could cost you a lot of time to not only check Bill's poke, but also the Kenya. And so I don't blame him at all for doing it, especially when the Sprout Tower can absolutely be the bike. Because the hardest thing to do, from my experience, is trying to go backwards through spinner hell without the bike.
Yeah, it's not ideal in any sense of the word. So I have a crazy story for you, Snorms, and everybody who's listening. I was doing a practice ROM with Geospone the other night, and we also got early squirt. So I decided to check it. It was a ditto, whatever, no big deal. I went and checked Ekritique. On my way back to fight Sprout and Faulkner, I hit the 30 grass because I didn't have a main. Happened into a Mewtwo. Like a full kitted out special Mewtwo.
Oh, the grass underneath Ekritique? That's Route 17?
No. The grass just to the right of the pseudo, like right next to Violet.
Oh, 36. Yes.
36, thank you. I screw that one up all the time. That's the one route I never get right. Oh, then it looks like Paradox is doing the Sprout check as well, okay. So neither of them opting for the pseudo check.
But that's okay. I mean, they've both got solid mains, and with this early on, it's not going to be that much experience they lose. That much experience it would get over it, because because we have black-white experience on.
Yeah,
you get more experience from being at or near their level. If you're over leveled, you're not going to get as much benefit from that.
No, it definitely costs you early game, but it also, in a way, speeds up your early game, because then you're just, if you have a halfway decent poke on the pseudo, you're just one-shotting everything instead of two-shotting it. So it balances. At least in my opinion, it balances.
Absolutely.
And wow, Snorms is already on Faulkner. I was watching Paradox's side for a minute there.
Oh yeah, no, this goes really quick.
Hey,
Because
speaking of
the
Geo,
Tauros is really good.
yeah, Tauros is always angry. Like I've never met a Tauros in these ROMs that doesn't want to just murder
But
everything.
it looks like Paradox actually is doing. It did.
Oh,
I didn't. Was it the Glacier Badge?
it was Glacier.
Yeah, I saw it and then I went to go to the
Oh,
tracker and I totally forgot what it was. But
Snorms
Storm's
made
got the
me.
bike from it. Oh my goodness, this is a huge
Mm-hmm.
payoff. I mean, they're both gonna have it, but you want to do
But
the bike before you do any of those kind of checks. So this
oh
is
yeah,
good.
and Snorms is definitely going to be happy with that badge, even on his Tauros, because he's going to get that crispy badge boost for his ice punches.
Oh yeah, this is gonna be a real doozy. So they're gonna kind of switch, but
Mm-hmm. Now, I looked over at Snorms' side, so forgive me if I'm wrong. Did Paradox go hit the center after doing Faulkner, or did he just go straight up to Sprout?
I'll be honest, I wasn't watching. I was taking a bite of some
Fair,
food, trying to get some sustenance before my race, but
fair enough. Oh,
but
thanks, Weista. Weista said he just went straight up to Sprout.
but yeah, I mean at that point you don't really need to, and you'll go back there anyways. It's probably closer just to skip the center, and then come back later, of course. And hey, Razor Leaf. All right, so now we have some more effective coverage, especially on any kind of
On our boy Ray
on
Cow.
most things except for our Magnemite and Magneton.
Yeah.
But even those you can just use Spark.
Yeah, I mean,
And
it'll be a couple of extra hits, but it's not the end of the world.
right. I mean,
Oh, God.
well, the Tauros was trying to learn triple kick, but unfortunately that's not a great move.
No, it is not, but the meme of the warning kick is always good.
But it's really nice to see. It's kind of interesting. I've always appreciated when you watch runners use two different mains.
I like the two different mains because it's never as fun when everybody's running the same thing, because then it just comes down to luck and what your DV spread is. But I also like route. I like seeing a lot of route divergence.
Well, with the early Squirt Bottle, we definitely have some potential for route divergence as Snorms finishes
With
off
his glacier.
Faulkner. So this is
Quite
already.
handily.
So this is getting really interesting. I didn't see what the TM is, but
It's Mega Kick.
I wouldn't teach it. It's not worth it. It's 75 power. Or no, it's 120 power, but 75 accuracy, and only 5
Yeah,
PP.
if you want a kick move, go with like jump kick or high jump kick.
Absolutely. Or even sometimes rolling kick. It's not great, but it can flinch.
Yeah, plus you get the extra coverage if you don't have it yet.
So it's interesting
Alright,
that despite having the early Squirt Ball, Storms is still going this way. But what's interesting...
I'm thinking maybe he wants to just check the item on 32 and
Well,
see if it's a progression item first before doing the critique check.
I mean, I think at this point it's usually just better if you're not switching main. It's just good to go through the Zelia and that because of the lower levels. But what's interesting is if you're trying to main switch, you can avoid picking up the egg, and if you go onto Route 32, you'll be pushed up into Violet City,
Hmm.
into Violet, if you never picked up the egg. So
That I did not know, actually.
it's one of those weird quirks that you can do with key item rando, and that's what I love. Is that I know a lot of people get surprised at all the different glitches or weird occurrences that happen. Rival's invisible, or just this last ROM that Rival was in the water. Well, that happens with all the different loading stuff when you kind of skip what the game's trying to do. So so I think it actually opens up a lot of enjoyment because you get to see all the weird things that only happen if you were to glitch out the game.
Fair enough. And it looks like Snorms also opted not to check the bottom floor TM in Union.
Well,
I've gotten some really useful TMs out of that in the past.
oh, absolutely. But you also notice that he's kind of skipping most of the items. It's there with his moveset being good enough as is. I think
That's a
he's just.
King's Rock on Paris side.
But he's just trying to go ahead because Storms actually does a lot of minimal stuff. So Storms is a heavy speedruns crystal, or has done a lot of speedruns and crystals and tournaments and things like that. So he tries to do some of the minimal stuff, and it sometimes as you said, of course it can bite you if you miss a TM or two. But sometimes it's just checking those extra items adds up. The little small time costs add up. I mean, even you see him instantly choose his moves, because if it takes 1 to 2 seconds for you to choose a move, if you think about that, it's extra time, and you're going to be using, what, over 100, 200 moves?
Yeah, I can't argue with that.
So that adds up to a couple minutes in the end.
And I got nervous for a second there before Paradox went into Union because he looked like he was going to skip 32. He remembered it last second and doubled back, which calmed me down, I'm not going to lie. Because since we know it's the pass.
Absolutely.
So Snowbear, I want your prediction. What are our odds that this is an early Kanto well, not an early Kanto access, but an early Kanto required ROM?
So are you saying by early Kanto, like, for example, requiring Janine?
Yeah.
I think it's rather unlikely, because you have the squirt bottle, you have access to at least 4 gym badges, and so beyond having Golden Rod, you have access to at least 2 items so you have access to 2 items in Critique, 2 items in Olive
Iron.
And if they get Surf or somehow, then they also get access to another 2 items by the Lake of Rage and Mahogany Rockets. So I think the chances are very limited, but it's still pretty good. I'll be honest, I have the log. I don't remember everything of it much. I just know it's going to be a Snowbear ROM, which could be disastrous or could be really good. You never know. It's usually mostly disastrous. So we're going to be in here for the long haul, guys.
Having played your ROMs before, I can confirm that 9 times out of 10 they're pretty disastrous. And I mean that with respect. I'm just saying. Your ROMs like to bite me.
I'm sure our last race runners had a little bit of fun realizing where that cut was, because Ellen was holding onto the disc this entire time for them.
You want to hear a crazy routing thing that happened last night? So this is a good one. We were about 2 hours and change in. Still no go mode. We didn't have Secret Potion. Secret Potion was locked behind Plane, which was on blue.
Oh yeah, classic.
Yeah, that was rough.
I did one also myself to practice in here, and I was so far behind, but I managed to get teleport, which was a difference because we were looking for the plane badge, which ended up being on Blaine. It's quite the Blaine badge, you might say.
I like the pun. Yeah, if you don't get fly access quick, having a poke with teleport is a godsend if you remember not to screw up your warp points.
Oh, it takes a lot of time, and it also requires a lot of other things to go your way too. Because I was starting to struggle, and I had like no money, and I hit a complete optional in Whitney's gym, the one going down the right side, because I fought the first trainer that was forced, and then absentmindedly I went back down the right side. Oops.
Oh.
And I almost wiped that trainer too!
Doesn't that trainer have like 4 pokes?
No, I think she only has like 2.
Oh, okay.
But it's just an extra fight you don't have to do.
Well, yeah, losing a bunch of time is never a good thing.
So yeah, that was. Let me tell you, that was. I got really flustered. I even forgot the radio card. And I was trying to
Oh
go to the
man.
Snorlax, and I had the expansion pass, but no radio card. Oops. Meanwhile, so we have both of our runners dealing with with Bugsy, which seems to be no problem. Starting with the Jumpluff and having a Quagsire.
But we must acquire the sire.
Must. But then we have a Heracross. So we actually have some bugs in here. Oh my goodness.
What kind of randomizer? Alright, what badge do we think we're gonna get from our boy Bugsy?
Well, I'm probably a little bit ahead of you, but he gave us the Soul badge.
Alrighty.
So right now we haven't had the best progression in badges, although we have some interesting access items. So do you want to talk about the Go mode items for those who may have not caught the last race?
Yeah, of course. So our required items to be in Go mode, which means we can stop checking key items and we can just focus purely on getting badges, beating E4, beating Red. We need Squirt Bottle, we need Secret Potion, we need the card key, the machine part, Cut, Strength, Surf, and access to Kanto. Once we have all of those, we can completely skip all the rest of our key item checks. Oh, clicked the wrong badge there. That's my bad.
Thank you so much. Sorry.
Of course.
Quickly finishing my food as we're doing it. But this is, I'm honest. With the bike, it's amazing how much faster it is. Because when you do bingos, normally a good time to head into Azalea is about 30 minutes. But having the bike before, no, sorry, not Azalea, into Goldenrod is about a half hour. But having the bike speeds it up considerably. As you see, Snorms is already entering the forest. And that's an exploding Vileplume.
Ow. And yes, Scarf, you're right. Squirt Bottle isn't necessarily needed, but it definitely makes the ROM faster if you don't want to have to rely on the SS ticket.
Oops, it looks like Paradox has some...
It's a long way to Ecruteak sucks. Oh, Para has his alerts on? And speaking of the SS ticket, Snorms just picked that up in Azalea.
But
so even if he didn't have Squirt Bottle, he would be able to get to Ecruteak if he wanted to.
It's a lot more convenient to have a Squirt Bottle pass because that's the best way of accessing, but...
So when I said Squirt Bottle was required, I misspoke, and I apologize for that, my friends.
Yes, otherwise you can... It's been a lot of times, but you have to have 2 of the 3 items being Squirt Bottle, pass, or ticket. To be a little bit more correct. So thank you again, Garth, for pointing that out. Oftentimes it's actually more frightening and really, really inconvenient if you don't have the Squirt Bottle, because a lot of the seeds will require you to go back and forward, and not being able to cut through half the map increases your detour by a lot.
Oh yeah. And if you get unlucky and hit an optional...
I missed the item that was on...
On the fetch, it was the SS ticket.
Oh, yes, thank you very much.
I already marked it on Snorms' tracker. So we now have full access to Kanto, depending on what they want to do. What was on Buena? I missed it. Oh, it was just Whirlpool. You got it.
Whirlpool, yep.
Okay. I was looking to see if Paradox had better luck getting through the Dark Prince over there. And I don't know if he's changing his settings or what, but his gameplay has stopped.
He was just kind of quickly changing his settings. He wasn't sure. He's switching out because he doesn't want no exploding Dark Princes. Oh, and that's interesting because it's inside the Perish song too. Because that Vileplume just really doesn't want to live. Unfortunately, it's giving Paradox a bigger problem.
Snowbear, did you see what we got off Bike Shop? I did not.
I don't think he's...
no, Snorms just did it.
Bike Shop.
I just didn't catch it.
I can tell you...
Blue card? Thank you, Garth.
Yes, from the Bike Shop, he got... Oh my god, I have this... Bicycle. A blue card, that's what it was. I'm looking at the log and I keep scrolling past it. It's not even that much, it's just I keep scrolling past it. Oh my gosh. Thank you again.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Thanks,
it's hard to
guys.
keep track of both of them. But I don't...
Look, yeah, because you're flipping back and forth trying to see what happens.
Alas, I only have one monitor, so everything is kind of blurred. But I guess Snorms hasn't picked up the coin kiss item yet, huh?
He did not go to the underground. He did Buena, he got his radio card, he did bike shop, and then he went straight to Whitney.
Yep,
So if I had to guess he's gonna do it before he leaves Goldenrod.
Of course. I mean, it's just kind of some of the decent, good movement. Although I don't know what I would have done movement-wise. I changed it every single time, to be honest. But it looks like Whitney's not an issue for him, and thankfully Paradox goes through Rival 2 after having some issues with the exploding Vileplume. The Dark Prince has definitely been a little bit more evil tonight.
Oh yeah.
Or this afternoon.
Early game anything with explosion is mildly scary.
Yes, but you know, it's really nice. It's really interesting to see kind of the difference between running the Tauros, the starter Tauros, with comparing to this legendary Raycow. So it kind of speaks a little bit different to how each of our runners do it.
Oh, that's an interesting place. Snorm's picking up to Kenya.
So
maybe he's hoping the male TM is a good item?
No, he needs it for an HM friend, actually.
Ah, HM. Oh, he hasn't caught anything else besides his starter, has he? Oh, he didn't catch anything, period, because Tauros was a starter.
Exactly, so it's... Huh, and Paradox was... Oh, attack that may cause parallax, attack that may cause freezing, and I think that attack that does... We'll have to read it again.
One of those is Zap Cannon, isn't it?
No, they're both attack that may cause paralysis.
Oh no.
One of them was the right choice.
Yeah, one of them was the right choice.
Although, I'll be honest, I would have kept Spark as well and Thunderbolt because Spark has 20 PP. But with attack that may cause freezing... Oh. I mean, that's still Bolt. That's Bolt's very, very, very discount beam.
It's Snowbolt. We'll call it Snowbolt.
Yes. The equivalent... You know, it's only slightly better than licking snow.
Yep. So this is an interesting play from Snorms, at least in my opinion. He decided to skip Ekritique and immediately hopped on the train.
Yeah, because it looks like he deposited his main, and he's gonna do a Death Warp, I think.
Ah. Picking up Mr. Psychic's TM, maybe that'll be beneficial for him.
So it's just gonna be kind of a quick check, in and out.
He's doing the
yeah, Paradox did
checks.
break up his blue card, thank you for getting that. But yeah, this is gonna be really interesting.
I mean, on the bright side for Snorms, if he does find Fly before Para, he'll have the Fly point for Lavender when he comes to do Machine Part later.
I mean, that's trivial, but absolutely. Looks like it's just the item finder, though. So, not paying off as much, but he's gonna he's gonna hope that trainer doesn't have 4 non-damaging TM moves. That's happened. That's happened before to people.
It's 4 non-damaging moves on the card.
Although, a Dunsparce, ooh.
Oh god, that's a Kenya.
That's a lovely Kenya, although no match for Steelix.
A Blizzard Steelix, no less.
Shout out to my boy Steelix. But yeah, I think Dunsparce is actually one of the more beloved normal types around here. I know a lot of people like its kind of dopey demeanor. But
I don't get me wrong, I have nothing against Dunsparce. It's just one of those things.
Although it's really interesting that Snorms is actually doing
He's opting for the long way
backward
around.
boat.
Okay.
Interesting.
That's definitely a choice.
And Paradox is actually picking a lot of hidden items. I mean, I guess he is a little bit short of money,
He's
and I believe both
yeah,
of them have the clear bell, which was
the underground, yeah.
yeah. But it's kind of an interesting item there, way to do it, because normally you wouldn't want to do this kind of play, but I think but if you expect to double back multiple times, you know, I'm not actually opposed to this. I think this is kind of smart.
I like the idea. I definitely like the idea.
And you get more item checks
I want to see
quicker.
if Para does it yeah. I want to see if Para does the other play and does Ekritique first.
Well, I think he is, because I think because he bought that Thunderbolt and he used it on his Raycow, and very honestly, he just needs Surf, and he's good to go.
He's set up.
So this is actually a really interesting play. This is definitely Snorms thinking outside the box.
Oh yeah, because he picked up the 2 quick key items, and then he's gonna get 2 more free ones once he gets to Olivine. And then I guess at that point it's gonna be, does he climb Lighthouse, or does he go back up to Ekritique from Olivine?
That's an interesting point. I would imagine maybe he skips the Lighthouse until it's needed, but I'm not sure.
But we always have the possibility of Potion being vanilla.
Or at least something being on vanilla, or it could have been like Strength on Secret Potion. So
yeah,
sometimes you're gonna have to do it that way. But speaking of which, he gets Surf, so that pays off for him in dividends.
Oh yeah.
Although Surf is not as good for his main, unfortunately.
No, but it definitely gives him access. Well, not access, but he'll have access once he gets Fog.
I'm secretly hoping that this is the Silver Wing.
So
I was gonna say, because if he gets the Silver Wing,
oof,
that would have been really funny. Because then you could just get with just the Fog Badge, you could just get a new main.
Yep. So now my question becomes: does Morty have Fog, or does Janine have Fog?
I think it's more likely for Morty to have Fog, only because Vanilla has a slightly higher chance of happening.
Fair enough.
But you know, it's not too bad. And of course, death, taxes, and encounters on Route 36. Paradox talking to Squirt Bottle Girl. I think maybe he doesn't remember that you don't have to talk to her anymore.
That, or maybe he just doesn't want the undercover cop to appear.
But undercover cop.
I'm with you. I love the undercover cop.
And wow, these are getting boom boom go mode items. Secret potion right there.
And
as
Paradox
Storms has interestingly enough kind of done everything with this extra couple minutes of time that he saved over Rival 2. He's right there with Paradox, but having done the boat and 3 other checks.
Yeah. So, in terms of progression, they're basically in the same spot, but Snorms definitely has a key item lead right now.
Absolutely, which is, I think, the most interesting part is this having the split route has definitely done a lot of stuff, but also just what they choose for their mains is because I'm imagining so Taurus is good with the headbutt, but Thunderbolt or Raycow.
Yeah, and then once Paradox heads to Olivine after this,
he'll have Surf.
He's gonna have Surf, and then he's pretty much set for
perfect coverage with when you have ice, water, and electric. You have perfect coverage. So we got Hulk giving some issues here to Snorms.
Oh, well, that'll help Paradox.
Oh my goodness! Flamethrower Raycow.
Let's go. Goodbye, Razorleaf. Don't need you anymore.
Heck, you could probably teach Surf over Powder Snow and be good to go.
Yeah.
Actually, I would do that. because water and ice have very similar coverage. There is a couple differences, but when you have fire and electric as well,
Yeah, that makes up for your ice
the only thing
coverage.
that's problematic to you would be Dragon, which Bite finishes off, or which is a good move for you. So,
but that's not to say that at some point down the road, Dio might learn Ice Beam. We don't know. We don't know its level up moves.
I could go check, but that's
Don't you
not
dare.
it. That would be no fun. But
yeah, don't take that away.
we got Waterfall. So my saying is that whenever you get Waterfall, Surf is soon to follow, and that's why I try to avoid teaching Waterfall as much as possible.
Yeah, Waterfall's a trap.
It is very much a trap.
And Paradox getting his Bill cutscene.
So yeah, boy, this has been quite an interesting start, I have to say. Although it looks.
Oh yeah.
No, Paradox! No!
Don't do it, Para, please!
No!
Oh.
My heart! It's burning!
I mean, in his defense, he doesn't know.
But you should always know. So whenever Waterfall's around, Surf is sure to follow.
Oh, my heart, it weeps for him right now.
So he's not wrong, but he did. He absolutely did a right choice. But I think personally, even without knowing where Surf is, with just Flamethrower, Thunderbolt, and Ice, and Powder Snow, I would have held off on it for just a moment. But to be honest, it's not going to make the biggest of difference. This is to Paradox.
Mm-hmm.
Because
aren't Waterfall and
Waterfall is
Surf
still
only
80 power. Surf might be 95, but Waterfall is 80 power, and it's just as good on Raycow.
Oh yeah. And especially if his Raycow has good DVs, it'll definitely be beneficial.
Aha!
So,
see,
the Dark Prince is back.
It's back, and it's gone. It's not being an issue.
No, it shouldn't have been.
But
now I have a quandary for you, Snow Bear.
Mm-hmm.
At this point, if you could, also Strizer with the raid. Let's go. Thank you very much
for the raid, Strizer. Wow, that's a big raid.
We take that. So here's my question for you, Snow Bear, and anybody in chat who's played a key item randomizer before. If you release the roamers, do you now go for roamer strats if they're worth anything?
Highly
with the main, if you had these mains, would you consider roamer strats?
No, or probably not. If I found it, a lot of times when I found the roamers, I just kill them.
All right. Secondary question then: would you consider the 50 switch?
Yes.
If you got access
absolutely
to Surf?
Yes, 50 switch, absolutely. See, 40s with the roamers isn't bad, but the problem is it takes time to try to find them.
Mm-hmm.
If you ask me again with Super Rod, absolutely I would fish Super Rod. Because the levels in here, especially at the start, matters a lot more than the Pokemon itself.
Fair enough. So, according to chat, most everybody would not do it unless it was something just amazing. Like, Urk said if it was a Mewtwo, they would consider it if they knew how to do roamer strats. Which I fully support that.
Man.
Or if the Snorlax in Kanto was a Mewtwo and it had good moves, I'd main switch to it.
I think it's definitely possible, but I am not really good at cries. There are certain ones I get, but honestly with Mewtwo, I'm more likely to confuse it with Parasect and Paris.
They're basically the same cry, so I get that.
So.
Oh, and Paradox with an EXP sack on his screen.
Unfortunately, he's not fit. He's very special oriented, so he gets paralyzed by Lick. That's just, ugh.
That's bad luck. Yeah, Gio, this Raikou is on some next level stuff.
Yeah, so funny thing, if you guys were just joining in, we had Thunderbolt and Thunder Wave as our Goldenrod TMs, and Powder Snow. And it had started with Spark, so he's been pretty solid. He was struggling a little bit initially, but after I learned Flamethrower on its own, it's been pretty good. Although
And
my heart
according to
still
chat, it
weeps.
looks like Snorms' Tauros just learned to dig.
That's gonna help him out immensely. So that's gonna save him money, but it's also gonna help him out against steel types, which he has been struggling with.
Yeah, without that coverage, it was rough going for him. That's what let Paradox get the small lead in terms of gym progression that he has. Yes, Alex, this is very much ridiculous.
You know, okay, maybe if I was racing you, I would do it. Wait, I am racing you. Shoot. I can't commit to that. No, Ben and I we've been good pals. You're actually, but when we do these kind of races, it's always fun to meme around a little bit. You know, maybe not the tournament, but there's always a little bit of room for styling.
Well, I mean, Fine tried to style in his race the other day, trying to catch that Lapras.
Well, it's more of a meme. It kind of goes with a meme, so it wasn't. I don't know if it was exact. It was a circumstance that was favorable to him. It wasn't necessarily trying to show off, but it's kind of based off of a meme off of a channel, I believe Void, and I don't think anyone really remembers how the meme started, but it became a meme. So he's always, when he did a marathon run and he had a Lapras, it definitely was worth something. So it's kind of got a special place in his heart.
I get that. I mean, I'm very much the same when it comes to stuff like that. Because if I ever see a wild Umbreon, I'm catching it. Bar none.
Thank you for catching that. You know, as much as I do these, I sometimes space out watching what these badges are, and you're all on top of this.
Sometimes you just want to watch, man. Like, it's just like, let's go, let's watch.
Yeah, so Paradox is taking an interesting route around. So a lot of times people will go up top, but he's going around the bottom, and he manages to dodge everybody pretty well. But it's really interesting. One of the things I really love about key item randos is because you go through routes you normally would in ways that you don't normally do it, like backwards, going through backwards on Route 38. And why would you ever do that in a Cinco Bingo, right? And there's little optimizations that you can do, so you can not hit trainers. So it's really different.
Mm-hmm. See, I do what Snorms does for his 38 routing to head towards Olivine.
Mm-hmm.
Just go up the top, take the short pause, or dip down into the grass and call it an afternoon.
Yeah, so it always differs a little bit. I think Storm is a little bit more refined in his movement than his Paradox. Paradox, we did a race yesterday, and we're still trying to kind of. Not everyone does this on a day-to-day basis, so.
Fair enough.
It might be
been doing
so many bit of kind of de-rusting because everyone's got a busy life, but even so, it's still pretty good. But it's interesting how our runners have converged after taking wildly different paths.
Alright, so it looks like Snorms has opted for Lighthouse.
Well, at this point, your progression is either Janine or Jasmine, and we're going to take Jasmine always because there's only 3 Pokemon, they're lower leveled, and you're right there, and you open up an additional item if she were to give you the Fog Badge. So I do not blame. It's really a matter of circumstances, along with it being actually close to him, right by him.
Mm-hmm. See, I think if it were me, and this is just personal choice, of course, I think I would opt for Janine. Just to, 1, get it out of the way, and 2, hope that my opponent didn't do it.
That's definitely an interesting thing. I don't know. I mean, that's a different way of taking it, and you know what? It's not wrong. It's a 50-50 check, to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, because the way I'm looking at it in terms for the way I play, and you've all seen that fiasco. I've gotten better. You can ask people I've raced with.
So you've learned to find the good rod.
Yeah. No, I have a timer on my phone now for that, by the way. After I start the run, I have an hour timer that goes off and reminds me to check Good Rod. But I look at it in terms of, so yeah, so Vice, like I was just trying to get into, and then I sidetracked myself. I would do Janine purely out of terms of the speed of getting it done. Because it's one fight versus climbing up tower, surfing all the way to Cyanwood, and then surfing all the way back. Whereas I hop on the train, I go do Janine, and
But Janine,
you know
to
what I
get
mean,
to
and then
Janine, you
go
still have
right
to
back.
do a fight to get to her, and in this point, it's actually also a fight back and a long bike back up.
It is a long bike back.
So I don't know if it'd be optimal, but it definitely could be the more optimal route depending on when it's on where the progression is. So it's not necessarily wrong, as we say. It's just different plays. It's not a bad play.
Yeah.
It's just different plays. But I am very much more in favor of what our current runners are doing.
Oh, I can't argue with what they're doing at all. It's just, like, my playstyle is very strange. I'm one of those people, especially if we get early Kanto and we have access to like 90% of it, I clear out Kanto and just get it out of the way.
You know, I mean, I don't think that's a bad idea. It looks like Paradox. Oh, because he was so broke, he was broke. He doesn't have any escape ropes, and he also doesn't have dig. So
Yeah.
kind of taking the slow way down,
I,
jumping down.
I've done that. I've had to do the fall of shame. It was good for Snorms because he had dig, so he could just dig out. But I also think he had escape ropes regardless. And Ginny and Jasmine was the right call.
I think it's definitely good when you point out in the chat sometimes it's really it's more important to try to postpone the Kanto gyms because it's a lot harder, and if you get walled, you're stuck there for a long time. Whereas a lot of times it's just easier to deal with the lower level ones.
No, I don't argue with that logic in the slightest.
But you know, if you're doing things that nobody else expects, you know, sometimes it pays off big.
Mm-hmm. Like, and Vice knows this well because he was the friend I was racing last night. If I had decided to clear out Kanto like I wanted to originally, I would have had a ton of progression. Because, like I told you before, Plane was locked behind Blue. So if I had decided to do it because I did the 50 switch, it would have put me in a better position than I ended up being in at the end of that.
So this is an interesting choice. Do you think anyone's gonna check? I suppose there's no reason to check Secret Potion right now because of the density of checks. But I'm wondering if Paradox is gonna do that. But oh no, he opts to take the boat.
He doubled back. Oh, boat. Okay. See, what I would do in this case, if I decided to go check Potion, I'd save before surfing, purely out of not having fly, and then if Potion was a non-required item, just reset back. So you still lose a little bit of time, but you then know what the item is.
And that's an interesting spot for Sudowoodo be.
That's a very
because it doesn't like water, except for when oh no.
That's not something you. Oh, that's worse.
But canonically, Sudowoodo doesn't like water, but this one loves to swim.
That crit mattered.
That's a super rod. Does Storms check?
Doesn't look like it.
I think he's probably happy enough with his Tauros, but
I mean, he's got a darn good Tauros.
But yeah, this is definitely really, really interesting. I think a lot of times we've been seeing racers try to use the super rod, and it doesn't unfortunately pay off as much as we would hope for.
Sometimes you get lucky, but most of the time you don't. And Garf's got a good point. He believes that was a Sudowoodo.
Oh goodness, you got me there, man.
Garf, doors on the left there, friend.
Uh, although I don't remember what the Sudowoodo actually was for us today.
It was a Slowpoke.
Right, right. I just know that Snorms hasn't done it yet.
So I think Paradox is going to, if I had to guess, just based on him taking the boat and having access to it, we might be looking at a early machine part and blind rock tunnel check.
um, that's very possible. But it looks like instead he
Is he
thought
gonna?
about it,
No.
and then he
Mm.
decided. Although Paradox, you're
Maybe he wants to hit the Pokemon Center first, so he has
well,
the
I think
warp
he
point if
doesn't
he dies.
remember that trainer you fight in the boat actually heals you, and your Pokemon Center / teleport spot is set to Vermilion once you take the boat from Olivine to Vermilion.
Hmm.
It's actually a little bit of an interesting quirk, and you kind of learn these things when you use teleport. That the boat actually changes where your teleport center was because you take the bed, but the past does not.
Oh, he's doing warp strats too. It looks like he's gonna go do the super rod check and warp back, I guess.
I would have thought about maybe trying to beat that one trainer, the hiker, but he may not be comfortable in dark, uh, in the dark rock tunnel. Not everyone is Wingage and can do rock tunnel in the dark and flex it, even when you have flash.
Well, I mean, I don't know if everybody has the map, but I use the map for mine, and I've
Absolutely.
I've finally gotten to the point I can do it on without wasting more than a few extra seconds.
Yeah. But you know, it's definitely something. I always pull up the map. To be honest, still,
Oh yeah.
it's so easy to get lost. Like to think where you are and then to forget it, and then oh my goodness. But regardless, Storms is on the Press A simulator, part
Mm-hmm.
1.
He's doing his early world training arc.
Yes. And I think that's the most fearsome wheel I've ever seen. I'll be
Sorry
honest, so
for.
it's definitely a little bit interesting seeing all this going on.
Yeah, Vice brings up a good point. In chat, he showed me last night, but he actually modified his emo track to give him the maps of both Rock Tunnel and Silver.
Oh, interesting. Oh,
And Para's going
I'll
back.
have to ask
Okay.
about that because I know there's a lot of. I haven't touched as much of it, to be honest, but that's very interesting. I think it'd be good to have for both Mount Silver and Rock Tunnel. And if you're doing a full item rando, Dark Cave as well.
Mm-hmm.
And Whirl Island. Well, Whirl Islands maybe, but at least Dark. Those 3 places.
Oh yeah. See,
I think.
I guess this is where choice comes into it, because I mean, if like I said before, for me, even if I wasn't planning on taking the 50, I'd go do the machine part check because that's another free key item check
That's a lot of
immediately
X
following.
speeds he got. He got 20 X speeds.
Wow.
I probably wouldn't have gone nearly even that many with a Raycow because you're naturally already fast.
Yeah, I think 10, like 10, maybe 15 tops would have been sufficient, but everybody's got their own playstyle, and it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting to watch.
No, this is why it's always amazing to have this tournament. And I'm glad that everyone's getting to see that kind of stuff.
Like, I'll tell you guys what, I'm like glued to my TV right now.
Boy, if I need to eventually learn how to have my computer project onto my TV because that would be a good thing for me to do as well. Although I'm kind of stuck to my computer because I have a headset, wired headset, and that's the roamer, the roaming graveler. I don't know if I
Huh.
don't think we did the game, but here you go, folks. There's a freebie, the roaming graveler.
So now we know where Elm got his.
Absolutely. He just kind of he just gave it some of those berries or something to reduce its level.
He gave it common candies instead of rare candies.
Ah, yes.
Ah, okay.
And
Garf said he guessed Charmander, Graveler, Corsola when it happened, so
I apologize. I
I missed it as well, Garf.
but I will check the ROM for you. I will check the ROM to confirm that. But yes, you got the Corsola, absolutely, and Charmander, yes.
Garf on point tonight.
Garf
Ben,
Garf has
it
been
is not
6
too
for
late.
6.
We'll give you partial credit for it.
So Garf is 6 for 6 for tonight. Will he go 9 for 9? Is the real question.
Let's see. What does he win if he gets all 9? Is my question.
He gets a lifetime supply of snow bear seeds.
Garf, how do you feel about that prize? I'm staring at chat right now. I'm waiting for his response.
I think this is the point where you just leave.
It's like snow bear seeds. I don't know. There it is.
Good answer there, Garf. Good answer.
Alex, I think you might be right. I think Garf's gonna throw. He's just gonna get one wrong on purpose.
Well, that's okay. He gets a lifetime supply of them anyways.
Let's go, consolation prize. Alright, Ben, so we're gonna give you 1/3 credit for each one, so you have 1 total point. Wing, that's a pretty good guess too. I like that guess. Oh, Paradox hitting an optional. That's unfortunate.
Oof. But luckily, it's one of the Pokemaniacs, so it only has 1 Pokemon.
Yeah.
And it actually gives good experience because it's a Ho-Oh.
Fair point. Gotta have a meme answer for a meme seed, right, Wing?
Alright, Wing, you get more of the Snow Bear seeds. The consolation prize is the Snow Bear seed. The prize you get for winning is Snow Bear seeds. The only way to win is to get more Snow Bear seeds.
Return to sender.
Sorry, it's a one-way package deal.
Well, so I think Vice, what it is, more than the seeds being banned, it's the seed maker being banned. Aw, man, Paradox has to kill my boy. I'm sad now.
Wait, was it your race you were trying to run that Umbreon for a while?
I don't think that was me. I would force one if it had a really good moveset.
That was I think that was Geos who was running earlier in the tournament, where he was stuck with the Umbreon main for a while.
What do you mean stuck with? Umbreon's a great poke.
I mean,
it doesn't do any damage, but it doesn't die.
Remoraid has the same attack stat as Umbreon. That's all.
You don't use an Umbreon to do damage. You use it to stall.
And that's why.
No, it's like I don't know why, but I have loved it since it got introduced.
I like your guess, Garf.
That is a good guess, Garf, but I talked to HR and they don't see a difference between those 3 pictures.
You know, I didn't expect the Golem Electro to give Storms that much of a trouble.
I mean, it is bulky, and even hitting it with Dig. And that's cut. Alright. So now we need to find Hive, which is probably on price.
Well, it can't be on price, not with this logic, unless things got wrong.
Well, it is a Snow Bear seed.
You know, there's a change that's gonna come, but I think it's a little bit. Oh wait, you said Price or I thought you said Blaine. My bad. It can be on
No, I
Price.
said Price.
Oh, my bad.
That's why I was like, I wasn't gonna call you on it. I'm just like, you know what? I'm
But
just
it can't be on
ignore
it.
it.
That'd be too good. That'd be too simple.
Yeah, but how? Like, think about it realistically. How often do we get the HM and then immediately
Um,
um do
it,
we get the badge? It happens a lot, other
not for
than
me
strength.
actually. Not that often.
Yeah, Alex, I can't argue with your statement. Its stat distribution is very weird, but it's definitely a bulky boy.
It's a bulky one. It's very notorious, especially Karen's Umbreon is notorious for being a troll. I believe it, at least the Pokemon Stadium that has like Toxic, Attract, and Swagger.
It's literally there to make you kill yourself.
Yeah. Are you looking? Are you sure you're not looking at the wrong logs there, buddy?
I'm not. I'm getting better at parsing out the logic, is what it is.
Absolutely. I mean, it makes sense. That was a 50-50 choice between Price and actually it would have been 1 out of 3 because in logic, Sabrina could have it. She just requires
She
you to
could.
have 7 other badges before.
Well, she doesn't really require you to. The logic just doesn't make you fight her until you have 7.
Exactly.
I thought.
Yes, that's correct. It's a more
Okay.
recent change from how it used to be, and the idea is to avoid if to
Yeah, you're right,
avoid.
Eric. Surge also could have had Hive.
Yep, Serve could have Hive. Yeah, so it's 1 out of 4, but that's still pretty good
Did,
odds.
did I see what I thought I saw? Did the twins turn into pseudos?
Yes, actually, that's actually one of the things because of how the sprites are loading. There's too many things, and you did see that undercover cop right there.
There she
Um,
is.
Yeah, that happens with the guided ranges when you go through and place it from the back, and you've been goldenrod for it, the game doesn't expect to load up so many sprites up at once, and so
Right.
it kind of replaces what the sprites are with other things. I don't remember uh, the exact way, but basically it just means having too many things up at once, loaded it up at once.
That's pretty cool, though. And now we're talking about bulky dark types in chat. So far we have T-Tar, Scrafty, even Honchkro's pretty bulky with the right investment.
Just as long as I'm okay with any of those dark types as long as it's not Sneasel. Just get that out of my face. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. I don't want to have to deal with it. And if I do have to deal with it, I'm doing a ×4 fighting move to the face.
Yeah, Geo, that's another good one. Mandibuzz is a really good bulky dark type. So what's Snorm's play here? Does he do Sabrina? Doesn't
No,
look
I
like
think
it.
no, I think right now he's just gonna because he's pretty good at this. I think he's just gonna go to the Snorlax. Although I still don't understand why he keeps fighting that trainer when he has the machine part.
Maybe he forgot you can just go south out of Lavender to get to Viridian.
It's really odd, but it's more of a technique that we've been doing. I suppose if you're doing early Snorlax as much as Geos and Wingage do, I guess they've been calling it now
It's the Geo Swing strat.
I you know what I guess you can't fight it, you gotta join it. But
Well, because they were going back and forth over who came up with it first. So they just decided to hybridize it.
But regardless, it's definitely the strat to do because you're getting something 15 levels over, and you still have at least half the game to go. So you're not losing out on that much. I mean, you're losing out on some stat experience, but not too much if it's worth those main switch.
So personally, I tend to, if I'm going to do early 50, and I have Fog and Machine Part, I'll try to do it before I have more than 4 badges. just so I can get the most stat XP on the 50 that I can.
Right. You know what's really interesting is that if they were to get the Rising badge right here and now, they could do backwards Kanto strats.
They could.
I don't know, but I I think Athena might have done it last race. It was towards the end when I was grabbing food, so I don't know if he was able to do that or not. But it's not in logic. But if you're just kind of missing cut, it's not a bad idea. Although in this case they have cut, so there's no reason to do it.
Yeah. So all we're really missing is card key. At this point.
We're also missing strength as well.
Well, yeah.
Card key and strength.
Garv, can you really call a Alolan Persian bulky, though? Like, one good fighting move and that thing's life is over.
Look, you know the bulkiest thing around? It's just a Clefairy. It's just a Blissey, okay? Bulkiest thing.
I don't know, I think Shuckle's got it beat.
Look, Shuckle has what, minimal HP? I
Yeah.
prefer my max HP.
Have you seen the HP pool on a D-maxed or a D-maxed Blissey in Sword and Shield?
I have not.
So
Does it go
I
down
can't
as
remember
slowly
where.
as it goes? Does the HP bar go down as slowly as it does for Gen 4?
Well, when it has over 1400 HP, I think so.
That's right. D-maxing gives you what, plus 50% HP?
If you max out the Dynamax level, you can double your HP.
Oh, well then.
Yeah. Alex, you're not entirely wrong, but you're also not right.
That's what I'm saying, Ben. Look, just use conversion too. Regardless, it seems like Paradox is going to have no issue dealing with price, as Storms has gone back and forth from the machine part quest, and is on his way to that level 50. So let's get those guesses in chat right now. What is our big inflatable Snorlax today?
We accept all guesses other than Shuckle.
So my favorite one, I'll be honest, was a Quillfish. Because I can just imagine this huge inflatable Quillfish that goes, no, people go, no, I'm not touching that. Bye.
You know, if it is a Quillfish, Sandy's just gonna show up, right?
I mean, you heed the call, right?
Ben, we told you, no Shuckle. Shuckle is the one thing we don't want to see right.
Although, I'm still really surprised that Storms isn't going for it. I suppose he's looking more for the items. So
He's gonna give us our bye-bye a go-go.
It's not wrong. So, yes, he's into... So, what I've started to learn, it's just faster just to grab the item when you go to beat Misty afterwards.
Oh, I thought he forgot to do it, but I guess he's gonna go do his time skip training arc.
You know, I think the Storms is committed to this Tauros, so he's not switching off of it. And I don't blame him.
No, not at this point. Not with 6 badges worth of XP put into it.
Well, it's not just that, but it's a Tauros. I mean, what are you gonna really switch out for?
I can't think of many things.
Although my favorite story is when I was doing this with Hulk once, and the level 50 was a Krabby, and he went to go trade it in, and it was for Zapdos. It actually had, I think, at least Spark on it. So it was me and him playing for second place. Storms had already finished like 5 or 10 minutes before, but it was actually a pretty funny thing to happen.
Fair enough. Getting trade pokes in this is sometimes beneficial.
know the real kicker was that the Red's ace was a Blissey, and I think he got upwards of 16,000 experience on it.
Jesus, that's filthy. Ben, if it's another Tauros, you're just gonna hear me cackling like a maniac.
So, this is interesting because, see, I like what Paradox is doing. See, he's got cut. So
yeah, but so does Snorms. Snorms could have done it this way too.
Right, but I guess it's a matter of maybe getting. I don't know. Snorms was trying. This shows his expertise. With that though.
I mean, he did get through Blind Rock really quickly, so I can't really fault him for doing it.
I mean, the other thing is it's just one Pokemon you have to fight there, not two. So, see that trainer that Paradox fought had two Pokemon rather than one. Although I still think it's slower because of because you're going through a bunch of different places. But I definitely like how our runners have done wildly different strats. I mean, they're doing kind of the same. They might be. I mean, the Besides kind of pushed them through to the same ways, but the way they're approaching it is very different. And I can't say one way is wrong or another. I mean, I think it's odd. Some of the plays have been a little bit unnecessary, but it's definitely different.
I'm just curious where. See, now I want to know where Paradox is going after this. Is he gonna go do Machine Part, or is he gonna go do 50? He's probably gonna go do Machine Part because he's right next to Cerulean and he won't have to go through Tunnel this way.
Well, I mean, I'm sure he's gonna kind of make his sweep of the map, but Garth, that's a little bit much. I think that's just silly. In the words of Monty Python, no, that's just silly. I'm gonna have to we're gonna have to kind of take you off to kind of show you the exit there.
Garf's going off script. Somebody get this man.
Although
and we have another Mizzle on Snorms' screen.
He's not liking it at all. And fly! Oh! Ooh.
That's a good thing for Paradox.
Well, he's not able
he's still gonna have to go fight Misty, but
I've always had that. I've had that time where it's like I had the Storm badge, and if I check the item here, it could be fly. Do I do it? There's always that kind of moment of hesitation. Like, do I do that now, or do I do it later?
So now the question becomes, which of these Kanto gym leaders has Storm?
Well, we're also hoping for the plane badge as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's very possible Storm is vanilla, because we do have... Oh no, it can't be vanilla, because we don't have plane, never mind. I don't know why I thought we had it.
I mean, who's to say we can't have the plane badge pop up soon?
Ooh, that's an angry Quillfish. Sorry, I looked over at Snorm's screen and I saw he lived on 1.
Oh, yeah. Clutching it out, definitely. I think Paradox is going to have a much easier time through these trainers overall.
Oh yeah. Just based on his moveset.
And based on the Pokemon, Reiko is a little bit bulkier than... Just a little bit bulkier than, Tauros.
Ben, I might have just butchered my pronunciation because words.
Well, I mean, it could be Storm's badge. He does have a badge. I mean, when they give it to him, it is his badge, right?
Technically speaking, you're not wrong.
So they're all Storm badges. But it looks
yeah,
like
I think this might be another one of those HR picture comparison things again.
I don't see a difference.
Wow, Misty is just letting Snorms set up for free.
Submission. I didn't see what else, but he needed the
It
setup.
used Splash for 3 or 4 turns.
I mean, he's just happy to be there. And no problem for Snorms. Easy setup, easy life.
Yep. Stab Splash. Wingage is right.
Splash is a normal type move. It's not a water type move.
Oh, I thought it was water. I don't know why.
No. Although Splash is more kind of flying around. That's why the Hoppip blend has it as well. It's not literally just splashing the water.
Hey, let's all take a moment to remember the biggest meme Game Freak ever gave us, which is Z move Splash.
Well, I don't remember. What does that do again?
It does nothing.
Ah.
Like, it gives you this whole animation. You do it like Magikarp jumps into the stratosphere, and then it does nothing.
Very well. Is Storm's gonna... I guess Storms is gonna hold off on doing Jasmine. Not Jasmine, sorry. Sabrina for a little bit. As he's gonna get done...
He's probably gonna go restock his X items and sell it on and then hit air.
I think he's set with his X items. He's just gonna do Erica.
Huh.
Because he
Fair
bought
enough.
a bajillion X items.
Yeah. I always like to have more than necessary, just in... Like, say, God forbid, something has haze.
If it has haze, then you have more issues then. I didn't see what badge Misty gave, so let me...
Mineral, I already marked it.
Mineral, okay, perfect. Thank you very much.
Of course, of course.
I start staring at these so much that you forget you have to do your job. I have to do my job.
Yeah, if something booms while you're setting up, that's also a bad thing. And Garth, does Z-Splash really give you +3 attack? I thought it was just a big old meme.
+3 attack is... Wow. Also, it's interesting that Paradox approaches from the left side rather than the right side. It's a little bit slower, but it's still the same idea where you're skipping all the trainers in the middle.
Yeah. I loved that we could do that.
I mean, technically, I suppose you could do it in red and blue if you had Surf badge and you had what is it? A Koga's badge and Surf?
Yeah, it's Soul and Surf.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd have to, like, brock through walls and get it that way.
Yeah, it's really interesting.
But if you're brocking through walls, then what's the point of Surf?
I don't know enough, to be honest. I don't do red and blue. But yeah, this is no problem for both races. So this is, you know, it's really interesting to see them kind of have so much progress done at just the hour 20 mark.
Oh yeah. This ROM opened up really quickly.
I thought this would have been stayed as a bad Snowbear ROM. It might
it's still possible. Elm might be holding Fly. Or not Fly,
Card
no.
key?
He can't be holding Strength. Yeah, he could be holding Card Key.
He could also be holding Strength.
Oh yeah, he could, because we could just have to go do E4. Because you don't need to check. So this could still be a bad Snowbear ROM. We don't know yet. It's just, maybe it's lying in wait.
It's gonna ambush us when they're not expecting it.
But I do agree with you. This ROM has been very, very kind. Very much front-loaded.
Oh, well thank you, Garf, for explaining some of the other do-nothing moves gives an Omni boost. That's really neat.
I didn't tend to use a lot of Z moves. You know, the Sun and Moon games.
We don't kind of Zemos no longer exist with the fact that it's all Dynamax. And oh, that's a Storm badge. That is the Storm badge. Snorms is very happy.
Oh yeah, I would be too. And
And Paradox is
Paradox is about to
right
get
on
it
his
too.
heels.
So I guess now the question becomes, which gym do you hit next? Do you go Sabrina and then over to Janine, or do you Surge?
Well, it looks like Surge is the answer. You're right, Anonymous Alex. They are bad by definition. You are not wrong. So, I just want to give out a shout out to, these racers. So please give them follows. But also my fellow commentator, Overlord Day, who's doing his first commentating stuff and absolutely killing it here. He's doing a great job.
Thank you, Snowbear. I appreciate that. And thank you for letting me join you on the comments.
We always appreciate doing these kind of things. But this is definitely one of the more interesting kind of ideas, because right now we're gonna have this match, and then following it, so keep your browsers tuned. We're gonna have a small break between, just switch over who's restreaming, and I will be facing Ben. So this is gonna be an intense match. Thank you very much, Garf. That was
I missed that.
That was our lovely lost item today. It looks like the copycat really wanted to be like that Sudowoodo and have red. Although I'm not quite sure the scale, but it was more like red, bulbs or leaves or whatever.
So do you think she'll crush it up and use it for like hair dye and turn her hair pink to match the Pseudo's hands?
I don't know. That might be a little bit much. But regardless, this has been quite interesting.
Most intense fishing battle Crystal has ever seen.
Indeed.
I like that, Ben.
And there we go. So we got a flying bull and a flying Dunsparce. I'm actually very, very partial to the flying Dunsparce.
Well, I mean, it does have wings. They're small, but they're wings. And if you listen to Pokemon logic, anything with wings can technically learn fly.
I think there's a few things that can't learn fly. Like, can't Scyther not learn fly?
I can't remember. I think it could in Vanilla Crystal, and then they got rid of it. But I could be wrong. It's been a while since I've played Vanilla.
And today's 50 is an Apom. So,
Pomegranate Artificial Intelligence.
Yeah, not quite what our racers were hoping for.
No. If this was Gen 4 and you could get an Ampom, then maybe.
Even then, I would say hot no.
Yes, Vice. Charizard could not learn Fly in Gen 1.
And Storms gets Flash. He goes, but I don't need that Flash. Storms is very comfortable with doing all the rooms in the dark.
So, the old man giveth and the old man taketh away, unfortunately. Could it learn Fly in Yellow, Alex? I never taught it Fly, period. Just on principle. I didn't want my Charizard to know Fly, I gave it a Pidgeot. Huh, good to know.
But yeah, so it's really interesting. So we got Storms already here at Brock. I don't think he's faced Sabrina yet, has he?
He has not done Sabrina yet, so if I had to guess what he's gonna do next... enjoy dinner, Ben. If I had to guess what he's gonna do next, he's gonna go south, he's gonna go unlock Blue, go do Blaine Janine, come up to Sabrina, then go do Blue.
Yeah, that sounds like a plan. What I like to do is save Janine until, kind of the very end kind of thing, because it is so much faster to just approach from Cinnabar Island. or this
Hmm.
the Seaphone Island gym.
Yeah. No, I can't argue with that. The only and Vice said it best. Like doing Janine early is only beneficial if she has plane.
It's also beneficial if she has Storm Badge and you have Fly.
Yeah.
But yes,
Why is
generally progression is
now I'm Oh, I was looking at Paradox. I thought I was looking at Snorms. I'm like, why did Snorms go back to Tower? My brain I derped so hard right there.
that's okay. It's a long. It's been a long time. It's been a long time at this point.
It's not even that. I'm just exhausted. I've done so many key item randos this week. I've done like 2 or 3 a day for the last 5 days.
I mean, you're training. You're going through your training arc, right?
Yeah, pretty much. I want to put on a better show when I go into Losers 1 than I did against Wing.
Well, that's always good, and I'm glad. And this is always a fun thing to do. 3 bug
So,
types can learn fly, and none of them are flying types.
which
Interesting.
3? I'm genuinely curious now. Which 3 is it, Garf? So, Snowbear, I have to first off curse you because me being in this tournament was your cockamamie idea. But I also thank you for getting me into something I've really been enjoying.
Now, if only I could get you into full item randos.
Let me get better at key item randos first, and then I promise you I will do a full item.
See, full item randos is key item rando is just a full item rando with the training wheels on. Is what I like. Is what I like to describe it as. I believe I took that from Wingage or Arrow, one of those two.
Well, I'm still learning how to ride this bike. I need my training wheels, Dad.
You know, I don't blame you. It was... Yes, Wing. Vika, Volcarona, and Genesect. You know, Volcarona is one of those weird Pokemon that's a fire type, but it really doesn't mind being in the rain. Because you can just teach it Hurricane.
Mm-hmm.
One of those weird things. I never did. I haven't played enough, but I've definitely appreciated. I definitely liked Volcarona when I used it in Pokemon Conquest. It was definitely. It's definitely hard to get because of its late evolution, but it's worth the entire time. And it looks like Jumpluff doesn't like being fire thrown at it, and instead it would want to burn Paradox instead.
Yeah. Volcarona's awesome. The only thing that sucks about it, Talia, is it's the only bug type that shirks the bug types evolve early BS.
Doesn't it evolve at like 90 or something?
No. It's like 56 or something. It's a weird number.
50, yeah. 59.
Ah, okay, 59. Yeah, it's somewhere in there. It's late
insane.
50s.
You know, at that point, you're probably at the end of the game.
Well, you can't even find a Larvesta till endgame. And Talia's right, you do give it boots. Because just like Charizard, it is very weak to rocks.
And there is our lane badge. I'll be here all week, folks. Ah, TGE. With dropping our knowledge bomb.
Mm-hmm.
Is he gonna be here to roast me tonight, is the question.
TGE, are you gonna be here to roast Snowbear?
Look, this small child wants to complain, okay? Regardless, we have already... our runners are getting through these badge checks very quickly, because I think it's one of the optional things is that even towards the end game, even when you have one item left, it's just easy to get done the badges. Is that especially when you have a main?
Oh yeah.
Just go through it. Oh, I'm gonna give Storms props for forcing this Tauros, which has somewhat of a lacking moveset at this point, but it's still...
It started off a little rough, but it got better.
Yeah.
I'm betting he wishes he had, like, Sketch or something so he could get Drill Peck off that Tentacruel, though.
regardless, it's a lot easier at this point now that they've got the higher level Pokemon to easily go back to these lower level gyms.
Oh yeah, and just steamroll them.
Oh, absolutely. Although,
they both do still
wow,
have to do
that was a
radio
critical
tower.
hit on that Rhydon, because Rhydon's actually very bulky defensively. That I've learned that even if you can do a lot of damage to it, it's just gonna live. You're gonna have to use a special move on it. If you use a special move on it, it goes down quickly. If you use a physical move, it's gonna take a while. But, so this is really interesting that Janine had the Zephyr badge. So, you had all sorts of ways of doing early, the machine part quest in the early game.
Oh yeah. So, I'm guessing Snorms' next check, logically, would be to go hit Sabrina. Yep.
Right now,
just get it out of the
just
way.
getting done the most you can get done. Because it's gonna be doing. I wouldn't be surprised if actually he does the Elite Four in blue.
Yeah, I would definitely go hit blue and then run up to E4, and just be done with Kanto and not have to worry about it anymore.
Because they've gotten all the checks here in Kanto.
Alright, chat, place your bets. What badge is Sabrina gonna give us?
I want the Rising badge, just to be interested, and just to be different.
I want Cascade, purely for the badge boost.
Well, for Paradox?
For both of them. Oh no, Snorms isn't using Surf.
No, he's very much not using Surf. In fact, if his Tauros were to use Surf, then you might have some issues there.
Alright, Vice says Rising. You say Rising. I'm on Cascade.
Well, either way, she's just being very Darude.
TGE says Rainbow, okay.
TGE.
And it's Rainbow!
I think someone might have looked at the log. Just kidding. I didn't send it off to anyone, so.
Well, I mean, you said I looked at the log when I guessed Hive. So TG, so for your payment, here's what you're gonna get: a lifetime supply of Snow Bear Rocks.
And you get to have a lifetime supply of small childhood complaining.
And plain badge check was pointless.
So at this point, Storms is taking the gamble that look, strength has got to be somewhere, and it's more like it's got to be here, or actually, it's most likely to be here because it gets really convoluted if you were to get basement key or card key. So you're hoping if it's not here, then things are a little bit easier for the logic. I think it gets very convoluted if you were to try to go through the rockets on their own. But that's the lost item.
So it could be behind lost item.
Absolutely could.
It could also be on false director, and that looks like what Paradox is about to check. He's going to do keyless tower.
Well, we'll see if it pays off. But it looks like strength is...
Oof. Behind lost item.
Well, so that gives Storms the option to be able to get one more item here. So it's just a little bit of a doubling back here, but it's more like it has a higher chance of being here now because, well, it's not a higher chance. It's just an additional option, one that's a lot less distasteful.
And it's a quick set of fights that he's gonna have to do either way, so might as well check it now before doing keyless tower and seeing what you get out of false director. Is it wrong that I'm hoping that... Oh no, is it wrong that I'm hoping Card key is locked behind basement key.
Is it wrong to hope for that? No. Is it evil to hope for it? Absolutely. Has it happened a couple times in these ROMs? Very
Yep.
much so. I think Fine is tired of doing all the required basement checks.
Fine had some choice words for you after that round, didn't he?
Oh, absolutely. Look, TG, when everyone asks for how many blue balls Academ's gonna have, my default answer is 15. And when anyone asks where the Ganon's boss key, big key is, the answer for me is always tile room. So absolutely, it's absolutely great to, it's amazing, it's good to ask for more evil shenanigans.
I'm always down for more ROM.
Because at the end of the day, the real people who win are the viewers.
And that's why we do this. For you, the people. Geo out here being a nice guy. He's hoping it's on wife.
To be honest, the best place to hope for at this point is that the card key is where Paradox is. Gotta give Paradox a little more love at this point, I think.
I mean, the ROM hasn't been mean to him, it's just Snorms made some early plays that definitely helped.
Well, Storms had a little bit of an easier time in the beginning than Paradox does, but it's also the little execution differences that's made a little bit of difference as well.
Oh yeah.
But I mean, I think both of them have done an amazing job. And to be honest, it's still hard for me to play even as much as I do with these kind of things.
Oh no, I get that. And Sanic gives us Rising. Chuck's name was Sanic if you didn't catch it, Snowbear.
Absolutely, yep. Gotta go fast.
Oh, and they got their Acid Armor TM back.
And so, Storms is officially in go mode.
Yep.
An hour 37 in, which is actually very quick.
That is a fast go mode.
So, he probably gonna get done closer to the 2-hour 15 mark, if I had to guess.
Unless Red is, like, really trolly and just bodies his Tauros over and over again.
Well, we've seen in the
He's
last
definitely got a
ROM
good chance.
that Red absolutely makes a difference. And, ooh, he gets the TM27. That's really
nice.
interesting.
Return's a great move to have for endgame.
Well, it's not necessarily return.
Well, I mean, his Tauros hasn't died at all, has it?
Well, no, it's not 20. TM27 is normally return TM, but that doesn't mean it is for this. It's been randomized.
My brain went to bingo for a second because it's fixed in bingo.
No, it's not. I don't think it's fixed in bingo either.
Thought it was. Huh. Maybe I'm just doing a dumb.
You're just thinking vanilla, that's all.
I'm curious what it is.
Earthquake! Oh!
Oh no. That is not a move you wanted to see for Snorms to get if you're rooting for Paradox.
Only field moves are kept the same.
That's a very angry bull.
This bull just got mad. It
got more mad.
Watch out, folks.
Hide your kids, hide your wives.
That's a vintage meme, my goodness.
I brought it back.
Vice, it was
Vice,
Earthquake.
27 was Earthquake.
Which is funny enough is that normally it's TM26. I think it's TM26 normally.
Something like that. Yeah, Talia, I think you're pretty on the mark because he's raging now. What did we get off False Director? I missed it.
We got the good rod. The goodest of rods.
Yep, definitely keys.
So Paradox is actually checking Ice Path, which is definitely an interesting choice. I mean, obviously it's not the correct choice this time, but it's not a wrong choice, because you have 7 badges and that's when this opens up. And it's a fairly quick kind of check.
Yeah, it's a very in and out check, and I think he still has an escape rope, so he can get right back out.
Although, I'm wondering, I guess it could be something like Mystery Egg.
So Anthem logic's been a little, I wouldn't say linear, but it's been pretty good.
I mean, it opened up initially, but then it kind of funneled them into the same place, so... Oh, basement key. Uh-oh.
Oh no. Oh no, Gia, Para, don't do it, man. Para.
Paradox is gonna realize
He
maybe that he can't get through.
I hope he figures it out.
Sir, Paradox, please.
Please, Para, no, I was pulling for you.
There we go. He remembers, oops.
Okay. My heart.
Sometimes when you do so many bingos, it's hard to kind of switch back between bingos and key item randos. I'll be honest.
Oh yeah.
There's been so many times where I'll go do something, or like people are like, wait, why am I going to Sprout Tower in a bingo? It's not on the card.
Yeah, Anthem, like I said, strength was at pharmacy.
No, sorry, no. Lost item was at the pharmacy, and the lost item led to strength.
That's it.
A little bit different, but effectively.
It was at pharmacy. It was just a couple
pharmacy.
extra steps.
Yeah. Effectively, it was at pharmacy. But regardless, Snorms is going through this level 50 on that Tauros. So he's definitely probably going to end up, if I had to guess, around level 55 at the end of the game.
I mean, he might
Which
decide
is a
to
little
take...
bit on the low side, because really, there hasn't been that much experience.
I mean, he could still go back to Vermilion and pick up the free candy to get that extra level.
I'm not sure if it would make a difference, to be honest, at this point.
Fair enough. But a couple extra HP never hurts.
Also, I'm pretty sure Paradox has... Oh no, he didn't pick up this item. He didn't pick up the red scale.
Nope. But he's going to now, so go ahead and mark it.
I was gonna mark the silver wing, but I don't remember where that was.
God, I don't remember.
I mean, I can pull... Oh, the log, I have it there, duh. Silver wing. That was the squirt bottle item. Oh, I don't think he's never...
He hasn't done that check.
He hasn't talked to her yet.
So if he doesn't do that, he'll make up some... It's only a few seconds, but he'll make them up. I want to see him go do Chuck. I really do. Because we now know what it gives.
Oh, he's teaching strength over rolling kick. You know what? I guess I could see that. I'll be honest. Oh, I mean, I understand what he was trying to do. I'm surprised he had rolling kick over fight, but I guess it helps for those Blissey, so it's absolutely not a problem.
Alright, Para's making the right play.
I mean, this is usually the correct play. The last places you want to go to are the basement, and the Elite Four.
Oh yeah.
So,
and a lot of people I've noticed like to put off blue until last as well. Either blue or Claire.
Got 2 level 58s, and not only are those 58s, he has 2 full restores. So if you don't one-shot him, he's gonna heal back up.
See, I do it the other way. I actually tend to leave Claire until last. Just so I don't have to worry about getting any more phone calls from that point, and then I can go do my elite.
Phone calls?
Unless the progression...
Well,
when you beat Claire, you get the Elm call.
Right, but... You're always gonna get that call.
No, I know. It's just, that's the way my routing goes.
I mean, everyone has a little bit different routing, absolutely. So yes, Chuck's wife has the card key. So in case you aren't aware, so to get the squirt bottle item, you must have the plain badge, and to get the miracle seed from that guy who stops you, on Route 32, you must have the Zephyr badge. However, to get the item from Chuck's wife, you just have to be in Chuck. So it's really interesting because that's the only place that requires specifically that Chuck is being beaten. Not
It's
the
like,
storm badge. It's just Chuck being beaten.
I love Chuck's wife. It's like, oh, you utterly obliterated my husband? Here, have this.
My favorite is when she has the coin case.
It's like, here, take my money.
Exactly.
It kind of reminds me of Yang's wife in Final Fantasy IV. You smack him in the head with a pan, and she's like, here's an item.
You know, I'm gonna go with you. I'm gonna go with that, so...
For anybody who's played Final Fantasy IV, you know what I'm talking about. If you don't, there's a quest in the game that you have to smack one of the characters in the head with a frying pan that his wife gives you, and in doing so, she then gives you another, like, story item.
I'll be honest, I haven't really played the Final Fantasy games at all.
Fair enough. Not everybody does. I get that. I also watch a lot of the Final Fantasy Free Enterprise.
Oh, I absolutely. I bet it's a lot more fun to watch. Because speaking of which, one should be going on.
Yes,
very
TG.
soon.
She gives you the spoon. What? I don't know what director gave us, but I know we don't need it.
I can figure that out in just a second. The director gave us the mystery egg.
Ah, I'll mark it.
I just picked this up on the ground.
Just like, hey, I found this outside. You want it? Ah, okay. TGE says FF6 Worlds Collide is on RM2 right now.
That's correct. Yeah, so we got quite a bit of stuff going on. Thanks again to Randomizer for hosting us as well. They've been a huge help with this whole tournament. So definitely thank you. And oh.
Big shoutouts. Big shoutouts.
So we're kind of on the way to finishing up, and so we don't think there's going to be very much problem. But the biggest problem that could potentially be there is red. So we all have those horror stories. It's a little bit different than, for example, A Link to the Past, where Ganon always difficult. For your skill, you can always beat him, even with doing Master Sword spins, which is I think it's like 54 Master Sword spins if you don't have silvers.
I think you're right.
But Red's a little bit different. Red, it's really up to what the ROM throws at you. You never know if there's going to be a bunch of babies, or if it's just going to be a Psychic Mewtwo.
Yeah, I was going to say, how does a level 81 Mewtwo with all kinds of different moves that you're super weak to sound?
But yeah, Snorms is amazing movement, and very immaculate movement. And if you want to do that, if you want to learn, definitely watch him, because he is very, very good about this. We have a few runners in our midst that will regularly kind of sub 200 bonk, and he's one of those runners.
I'm happy to see anything under 500 at this point.
I'm happy with about 400 bonks. So everyone's got their little their quirks, but yeah.
And Ben in chat said nobody died.
Yeah, well, that's okay. We all for living in this time.
Oh, it's official. Snorms beat Fine.
Oh, did he now?
It was the first trainer in Claire's gym.
Oh yeah. So we were making the joke that the only time Paradox could beat Genius Storms was But it's the trainer, genius. That's okay. I think it's the only time I can actually beat Storms too.
It's the only time I'm ever even gonna get close to Snorms.
Ugh. Oh,
Ah, okay, so TGE says it's 24 Master Sword spins. I thought it was more.
is it 24? Oh, that's right. Yeah, I just know it's an arbitrary, a huge amount of those. But I was thinking it was a lot more for the different phases as well, because there's at least the 12 tempered spins, or the 12 swipes with the butter sword, for the first 3 phases, I believe. But yeah, regardless, it does feel like more. It is.
Feels like you're spinning for an hour.
Well, and the worst part is that you have to time it properly. Like where he kind of is fading through, I believe, because you can't just spin slash him when he's there. He has to be kind of transitioning.
Yeah, the timing on it's really weird.
Thank you. Yeah. Regardless, we have Paradox is kind of catching up slowly. I feel like I've been missing some gym badges here that we've gotten.
I think Snorm still has Sabrina and Blue to do in Canada. I don't recall him doing Sabrina, but I could be wrong.
I don't remember. We'll find out soon. It felt wrong to see that. Him having 3
Yeah, because they're both missing 3. So I think they both still have 2 gym leaders left in.
He did do Sabrina, because that was the rainbow badge.
That's right. So I know they both have Blue to do.
He's missing 2. And so he's got the Cascade badge right there.
Volcano. Who didn't he do?
He's done. No, he's done everything. Earth badge was. Oh, he's got the Earth badge.
Okay.
Because that was Earth badge was Brock. That was all.
Okay. So we just missed it.
No, he's got just a little bit more.
I think your estimate's pretty good though. I think 215 is going to be right about where it is, unless Red's a heavy troll.
We've done a lot of these together, and generally when there was about a half hour's worth of game to do, because it's about 5-6 minutes to do the Claire's gym, another 5 minutes for the Elite Four, and then it can be like 6 to 7 minutes for Red, depending on how bad Red is.
Parasloot getting his way through Claire now, which is good. Wow. And Snorm's got a bunch of free setup on that T-Tar in Blue.
Yep. I don't think Paradox has fought Sabrina yet. Pretty sure he hasn't.
Huh.
He might have.
Thought he did.
Did he?
Well, we'll find out. If he goes straight to Blue after this, we'll know for sure.
Yep. But yes, the Volcano badge is the last badge for today.
And Snorms is officially done. He's on his way to the E4.
Yep. He gets to talk to Professor Oak and say those 10
Go get
seconds.
his fly point.
That's 10 seconds of save, or 9 seconds approximately saved.
And those 9 seconds could make all the difference.
It could be. And
I mean, we
what is
genuinely
this?
don't know
Wait,
how bad his
what
fight
is
luck's
this? A
gonna be.
dragon in the dragon gym?
What kind of rando?
I don't know. I've clearly failed my job at randomization.
You even gave them a nice ROM, Snowbear. What the heck's wrong with you, man?
Well, is it really nice when they have to kind of go all the way to get out of their way just to do a fetch quest to get strength?
It could have been a lot worse. It could have been on Elm
That's true.
and forced them to do early E4.
That's true. But wow, I didn't realize Claire had a Mewtwo.
Well, Snorms went through it in like a half a second, so I don't think we saw it.
It's so hard to follow him because he's too good.
He is indeed a quick boy.
Oh, so he does have a good rod for sure.
Yeah, they both should have about the same items. Paradox just has Basement Key instead of Silverwing.
Which means we got Coin Case and Old Rod as the two items locked behind Elm in the basement.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Ben, believe it or not, this is in fact a Snowbear run.
I know, right? Well, the only bummer is that I don't get to play my own ROMs. I don't get to play my own ROM today.
Who's making your run for your race, out of curiosity?
Probably Paradox, I think. Should, or somebody.
Right.
Somebody's gonna have to do it. Oh, and Paradox is trying to go to the moved leader. Wrong house, but right idea.
Definitely. Ditch waterfall, teach surf, I'm guessing.
Of course. It's not every day we actually did. Wait, that's a body slam TM? Wow! Goodness gracious. These TMs today have been amazing.
Tell you what, Snowbear, I want to ROM like this when I do Losers 1, okay? Do me a favor, bud.
I can't promise. It looks like Sabrina was not, Paradox has not done Sabrina yet.
Ah, okay then.
I mean, when you're doing all these other progress, I mean, no reason to do it. Although he's taking an interesting path around to Sabrina. Unfortunately, hits that spinner. But it's not. So there's kind of two optimal paths. There's the shortest warp path, which is diagonal down, or the kind of the easiest path, which is up, down, left.
Oh, see, I go left, down, left.
I mean, there's all sorts of different patterns you can do.
Yeah. That's just the one for some reason that's, like, ingrained in my...
I'll be honest, when I was a kid, I just did up or down. Because if you're ever lost, that's the way to get to, the way to get out. Because you're gonna eventually hit all the warps. It's just gonna take forever.
And now Paradox has been derooted.
Why you got to be so rude? Meanwhile, Snorms is making very quick work of the Elite Four as he's destroying Will.
Did he go setup-less on this, or did he actually use an X item and I missed?
He probably went setup-less. There's really kind of... It kind of goes... Oh, sorry, that's not Will, that's Koga. Excuse me.
Yeah, he was already through Will.
Yeah, so, while it can save some time, at the other time, it depends on how it is. There's sometimes you save from it, sometimes you don't save as much time. It depends on what your Pokemon is. And Tauros has very high attack, so it's probably not a bad idea. And considering he's got stab moves,
Hey, we've got a Spider-Man meme on the screen.
well, it's gone now. It was kicked away.
Yes, it was.
Although,
I'm gonna mute for a second. I'm gonna go get some water. Be right.
absolutely. Stay hydrated, folks.
Yes, hydration check for everybody in chat.
But yeah, this has been an amazing Tauros. You know, taking it from start to finish. You know, I think it kind of really shows that sometimes if you see something start or run starter, you know, you could just kind of brute force it through. Even with some of this kind of move, the moves that didn't quite have great coverage, was able to make it through just because the Tauros is just that good of a Pokemon.
Yeah, it is really rare to see a starter go all the way to the end, because you don't normally get that lucky.
For me, I normally end up taking the trash can.
Nightshade T-Tar. That's a poke.
Absolutely. It was really giving him a hard time. That's one of the, I guess, the two moves that you really don't want to see on red. And oh, that
God,
Magneton is gone. Goodbye.
It's gonna explode.
It has been grounded.
Is Bridget here?
Not today. But wow, we got 2 fights left on Storm's side, and he has no problems with PP at all, so... Although, I think he has 3 normal moves and Earthquake.
Yeah. If he runs out of Earthquake on Red and Red has a bunch of types, he's kind of stuck.
Well, you know, just be glad that there's no Ghost Flying types in this generation.
Or Levitate.
Absolutely.
That would probably be the worst thing he could see if Levitate existed. Or like a bunch of Skarmories.
Yeah, Skarmories are evil.
They definitely slow you down.
So this is still a pretty close race. So I mean, Paradox is about maybe 5 or 6 minutes behind because he still has the Elite Four to do. But with his Raycow, it shouldn't be struggling that much at all.
No. Wow, Lance was free.
Yeah. But he's got Victory Bell right there. Not much of a threat at this point. Not to this Tauros. And
oh no, the last poke was the big suck.
absolutely.
And Paradox is on his way towards Rival 5. Oh, unfortunate first tile encounter.
Ooh, no. Yeah, sometimes it's worth, as you saw, actually Storms uses Repel right there, and Paradox doesn't have any more repels. He's out of I think he's out of super repels.
He might still have some of his old repels left over.
Maybe. But regardless, you can always buy max repels at Indigo Plateau. Oh my goodness.
Snowbear, you gotta wake up, man. Your race is next.
Boy, it is. That's okay. If I fall asleep, Ben will take the win.
Oh, he has a couple of max. Okay. And now Snorm's just swagging on all of us casuals.
Yeah. Flash? Who needs Flash?
Who wants to waste 3 seconds? I'm just gonna do it blind.
Yeah. But wow, this
right,
is
now
really quick.
go
I guess 2:15. It's ending up closer to 2:10. This is actually an amazing time. So average times for most people is about 2.5 hours. Yeah, and good thing he used that guard spec. Although, he's just gonna use X
Yep.
accuracy anyways. But wow. This Red's just being kind to him. And it's also why I always advocate for turn 1 guard spec for this kind of reason.
Yeah,
Does
I
Dugong
always
have
buy.
an attacking stat? Or is he just stuck using sand attack?
So if I remember correctly, Red's AI. I could be wrong, and feel free to correct me. But if he has the opportunity to lower your stats, he's gonna try to. So if you guard spec, it'll like AI lock him.
Oh, I don't know, but wow, that was a Mach Punch Cheetar. And
Oh, that's gonna hurt.
that did hurt, but luckily the Tauros is good to go.
And Ben, I wasn't trying to ruin your strats of making Snowbear tired so you can win. I was just saying.
You gotta take any advantages you got there, right?
Exactly. So this is gonna be a 206.
Yeah. And yeah, this is no problem for Storms, and this is actually a really good run just overall, and this is definitely one of the better runs, and
That's
GG.
GG.
And Storms
That
with
is
the win with a time of 2:06:05. GG.
GG's indeed. So 2 questions for you, Snowbear, from chat. Number 1, we're staying on this channel for match 3, correct?
Yes.
Who's our commentary team? Somebody was asking.
Still figuring it out. I think Paradox will do some in Storms will, but we'll figure that out later.
Fair point.
GG Storms. Wow.
Well done, Storms. That was an amazing.
Thank you. I was frustrated with myself at the start, but yeah, I feel like mechanically I played well that race, which was good.
Your movement was smooth as butter, man.
I guess.
Yeah,
So
that was like
Did
the
you-
cleanest I've played in a while.
So when you saw the Tauros and it had a decent moveset, you just figured you didn't want to find anything else and just good to go, pretty much.
Yeah, I committed to the Taurus before I even saw its moveset.
It's not a bad poke to commit to. Tauros is definitely one of the higher end pokes for this.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So, I mean, the race is over, so Paradox actually ended up finding a really good Raikou.
It started with Spark
Oh.
and Bite, and it was on Route 30. And
What were the? Because I saw there were 2 electric TMs. in
one
the
was
map. I didn't
Thunderbolt,
know what they were.
one was Thunderwave.
Oh wow! Did he get him?
He
Did
did buy
he-
them. Yeah, he
Thunderbolt?
even bought the freeze one, which was Powder Snow.
Okay.
So he had
But he
Budget Bolt
learned
Beam for a while
Flamethrower.
there.
Yeah. So
yeah. Nice.
although I want to really know because you took a really bizarre routing because
Yeah,
you
I forgot I had the squirt bottle.
okay. I was
We were trying to figure it out.
Yeah.
I just thought because you took this like big cosmic brain play where you went through all the way back, and I thought it was like, oh, that might be actually
Because
not
we
too
got
bad
it
of a
so
fight.
early, and I was like, we got it really early, and I decided, no, I'll just go to the normal path. And then I didn't pick up Squirt Bottle in Goldenrod, and I was like, we have to pass an SS ticket. Maybe that must be our access.
But you forgot that
I
the
had it, yeah.
first time.
And I was really annoyed at myself, because as soon as I got on the boat, I was like, oh my god, I had the Squirt Bottle.
I also saw you fought that
That's fair.
biker actually, and then you went through Rock Tunnel, but you had Cut and Hive
I
Punch
had
at that
cut, yeah, but I wanted it. I was at that point. I was waiting to get the EXPN card on the way back, and I thought I might go check the 50, and I decided not to.
Okay, yeah, because I was a little bit
I
confused
honestly
when you
thought you
fought
were
that
going to.
biker because I was like, well, you don't have to fight that biker if you're just gonna go to the 50.
Hmm.
But I understand the route changing it kind of on the fly makes sense.
Yeah,
But that was an interesting moveset. You ended up with 3 normal types in Earthquake.
yeah, mononormal Tauros.
We were kind of worried there near the end that a bunch of ghost types and you might run out of earthquakes.
Oh yeah. No, I had plenty of earthquakes in the end because there wasn't really much I needed to use it on, and Because I really, at the start when I got the Mega Kick TM, I was like, do I teach this early and risk having to teach over it? Because I really wanted to have it for red, so I could like 6x attack and X-Ack and just have +6 Mega Kick, 100% accuracy for red. But I didn't need to teach over it in the end, which was good. Plus, it was really handy for like the Umbreons and the Suicunes and the Mewtwo's and the what else was there? Articunos and like Claire's Gym and stuff, so I didn't have to set up.
Yeah, you got through that ROM in a blazing time, man.
I thought this would take a lot longer when I looked at the log. I'm like, oh, I see where the, you know, it's like, oh, strength is at the pharmacy. You're not going to go for the pharmacy for a long time. And it's like, the plane badge is all the way over, but it's like, oh, you just do everything else.
Yeah, well, I had to fly at that point, so it wasn't that bad to check.
Yeah, so it was
So
interesting.
in terms of overall time, Snorms, how was this for you PB wise? Were you over average?
Oh, I was well and truly better than my average time. I was like 16 minutes ahead of my average.
Nice.
My average race, but I was still like 10 minutes off PB.
Well, I mean, you can't really compare with the starter Mewtwo, you know?
No. I don't know if I'll get a time that good again. Psychic Mewtwo starter's not really fair to compare against.
No, but dude, that's amazing. Your time was amazing. Your routing
Mind you, my
made
PB
me
is still
envious.
220. I have not had a great PB, but
My average is like 237, but my last round was like 240 something.
Yeah,
The
my
average
average
of my timer
is
is like
222, I think, at the moment. 222, yeah. But yeah, can't be unhappy with 206, so I'll take it.
Not at all.
do you have any other questions for us, or any kind of thoughts, learning thoughts? I mean, because obviously
Did Paradox use the square bottle early, or?
He used it before you did,
well,
but he didn't use it
not
early.
no.
Yeah, I used it like at the 1 hour mark, so that wouldn't have been hard, I guess.
Yeah, he did standard routing up through Goldenrod into Egritique.
Alright, yeah.
Oh, also,
Okay, cool.
yeah.
You guys actually ended up in Egritique at the same time.
Interesting. Where was Iraku?
Oh, that was Route 30.
Cool, alright, easy.
But again, Snorms, great race, man. It was a joy to watch, and it was a
Absolutely.
pleasure to commentate on.
Cool, I'm glad it was enjoyable. And
Paradox
thanks
is
for
still
restreaming and coming, guys.
Paradox is, I
I'm
think,
gonna
might
go
be doing a PB in this pace, actually. Because
This
this
is still going, nice.
I mean, he was only a few minutes behind you. You guys, which was funny is that when he had taken that bizarre routing when you forgot about the squirt bottle, you guys were at the same spot. Of course, you had done a couple of extra checks over him, but
Yeah, it was really fun to watch that. Like, you had taken the long way and standard way, and you were both just there doing your kimono and your rival at the same time.
I'll
Yeah.
have to go back and watch this.
yeah, he had a little bit of trouble
Interesting.
with Rival 2, which is how he kind of got a little bit further behind, because that Vileplume just exploded on him.
Ah,
Yeah, it got him pretty good.
yeah.
But other than that, I mean, you guys both did really well, and this is going to be a really good
I was-
time.
I was really hoping to find the Silver Wing earlier because we had Glacier Badge, Whirlpool, Surf, and the Fog Badge, and I was like, come on, just need the Silver Wing.
I know, I was joking about that. I was like, you gotta switch out to that, right?
Yeah. Well, when
Snubber,
was
you have
Silver
the
Wing
log.
in?
What was it?
Terrible.
The Silver Wing?
What was what was Lugia? Do you have that info?
I do have that info.
Oh.
Ooh, that Dugong had Stab Ice Beam.
It just spammed.
So Lugia was a Ho-Oh today. So Ho-Oh was in the wrong area.
Wow.
That would have been a good level 60 switch. Really early?
Let's see what it would have had. Ho-Oh at level 60 would have had Curse, Stomp, Mind Reader, and Return.
Never mind, wouldn't have
Wow.
been worth it to switch.
Interesting.
It would have just. It would
Well,
have.
Surf, Stomp, Strength, that's a good enough moveset right there.
True enough.
And Thunderbolt, which you can get
Hey,
from the
True.
TM.
Thunderbolt and Earthquake. Yep.
Well, oh yeah, Earthquake at the end.
Dude, Snowbear and I were just like, oh god, he's got Earthquake now too.
I was surprised you had even checked TM27, and I was like, oh, interesting. And then it's like Earthquake. I'm like, oh no. There was also the Body Slam TM that I don't think you saw, but Claire gave that to you.
No, okay. No, Claire I done right at the end.
Yeah, so Claire gave you
That was
Body Slam. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. You did, this was a pretty good
boy.
race, and it looks like...
Hyper V Mente.
Oh. Is that what happened? I looked away with
Yeah,
all the logs, and suddenly...
He missed his T-bolt because he got pocket sanded twice.
Oh, and he didn't.
And
And he
then-
didn't have any X accuracies. Right. Yep.
Yep.
That'll do it. That's okay.
So.
He's just on the last poke now.
Yep. So he's looking at a 216-10 maybe, unless he kills this Slowbro like now.
It's gonna be a 216. So it'll be. This is still really good. Actually, I wouldn't be surprised if that's his PB. And
Very
GG.
solid time, yeah.
That's a very solid
216.01.
time. 2:15:54 is what his timer says.
Oh, I was going by the timer on the
Oh,
restream.
of course. I mean, we're a little bit behind by that. But GG. And we'll bring Paradox in right now as well. GG Paradox.
Well done, Para.
That was quite a ROM, honestly. I enjoyed it.
Is this your best time?
Yes, this is my PB.
Nice. Congrats on the PB, man.
Thank you.
Wow. So that Raycow was really interesting. He started with Spark. And-
Bolt thrower. What can I say?
Although I'm gonna roast you a little bit. You taught Waterfall.
I did.
I'm only roasting you because what I've tended to find is that right after Waterfall, you're gonna get Surf. So did you regret it as soon as you because the next item I'm pretty sure you got was Surf.
Not really, because Waterfall helped me through Rival 3.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, it came in really handy.
Yeah, Waterfall was very useful, and I mean, I knew once I got to Blackthorn, move to leader.
Absolutely. But yeah, that was really good. You were keeping up. It was you and Snorms were neck and neck for a little bit of the time.
Can I ask what
Yeah.
he ran?
He ran
Tauros.
the Tauros.
I ran the Tauros.
I was not going to trust that Tauros, but good on you.
Yeah.
You also got a really good encounter on that Raikou, though.
Yeah, as soon as I saw Spark, I'm like, this is it. That's the one.
And then finding T-Bolt and Goldenrod Shop didn't hurt either.
T-Bolt and Powder Snow is useful for a bit.
Hey, look, it's just the Snowbolt.
Nothing wrong with Budget Bolt Beam.
Yeah, Bolt Snow.
Bolt Snow, yeah, that's what it is.
Until it became Bolt Thrower.
Yeah, Bolt Thrower is one of the best things out there. So yeah, this has been definitely good. We'll kind of quickly transition, kind of show the bracket as it is for the moment. So we have Storms, who's going to be facing off against the winner of tomorrow's match between Tom and Hulk. And then Paradox U will be facing off the winner against Weista and the loser of...
And to be determined.
Yep.
Yeah, the loser of one of the matches, match 6. I can't quite tell what that one is. The match of the loser of Hulk and Tom. So basically, tomorrow's match will determine who you guys will eventually face, generally.
Yeah, it determines both our opponents.
Nice.
And so we're gonna have a quick transition. So don't touch that browser. We're gonna do a quick swap, and on the same channel, we're gonna have me versus Ben. So we're gonna have a little bit of time between. And we'll figure out some logistics. But stay tuned, please.
And
So
Snowbear, good luck
we'll
to you,
see you in
friend.
about 15,
Yeah,
20
good luck,
minutes as we
Slither.
kind of switch over.
Good luck, Ben, as well.
Yeah, good luck, guys.
And Ben as well,
And
yes.
GG Snorms.
GG, and thank you very
GG,
much.
Yeah.
Paradox.
Well played, guys. That was a great race to watch and comment on.
And we'll be back in a little bit. Bye.